How to set up and use IMA Group Ionic Foot Bath. In this demonstration, we're using the IMA Group Ionic Foot Bath Kit 400. With this unit, 4 people can experience the benefits of the Ionic Foot Bath at the same time. The procedures for using all IMA Group Foot Bath units are the same, and all will give you identical results.
Okay, Hurley, you want to put your feet in the water? And I'll put the activator plate right in between them. It's right there. Okay, Miss Leslie, you can put your feet in the water. And I'll put the activator plate right in between your feet, right on its side, just like this. Okay, very good. Put your feet in the water. And I'm going to put the activator plate right in between your feet. Now, this is a really important part of this. You always put the activator plate into the water before you plug in the activators, because if you don't, then it's possible that there could be some kind of an electrical jolt, and you don't want your clients to feel anything. So we're just going to stick these together right here. And now they're already working. And if you look at the plates, you can see just a little bit of bubbling. But I'm going to take just one little shake of salt in each one, and we're using Morton's iodized salt because it seems to work consistently. So I'm just going to take a little shake on each one. Excuse me. Just a little bit of salt to create more activity. So anytime people's feet itch, you've got too much salt in there. And you see, the bubbles are just exactly where it should be. We don't want it to be overtly bubbling. We want it to be just lightly bubbling. Now what you're seeing is hydrogen being separated from oxygen. And as it separates, it draws out the impurities out of your feet. We spend all of our life moving, and we get all these heavy metals and impurities in our body that are heavier than everything else in our structure. So as we move, where do they all go? Into the soles of our feet. So the activity of the ionization releases them out of our feet. So what you're going to see over the next 30 minutes is you're going to see the water change color. And each one of you is going to have a different color when it's done because you each have different impurities in your body. So the water will normally change color all by itself to some degree, but you're going to see it at a much larger degree. So we're going to do this for 30 minutes.
I mean, the first time you do it, you're surprised by what's happening and stuff like that. But you go into the second and third time, and you just, the experience is really something that, you know, it's doing something for you.
Now right now we're just about the halfway mark, so we've got about halfway to go. And if you look at the different waters, each one of you is different. And it's not a contest, because the contest is to get rid of all the stuff in your body. We have exposure to lots and lots of toxins that we're not even aware of. And so when you come and do the foot bath, you start to see what you have in you. You drive through areas that have high smog. Well, high smog have particulates of metal in the air. And so you breathe them in. And you don't think about it. Hydrocarbons that you breathe in. I mean, you know what the most toxic chemical on the planet is? It's the residue from tires. Well, you ride on the highway and you breathe in some of that residue from tires that are scraping the highway, and it's toxic. You know, years ago I owned a chain of gas stations, and I used to do a lot of brake work and did a lot of clutch work. And clutches and clutch pads and brake shoes and pads are full of toxins. Well, some of that stuff went into me. Now, it doesn't have to go into your lungs. Guess what? If it lays on your skin, you absorb some of it. And so when you come and do the foot bath, you start to see what you have in you. But you know what? The best part is after a half an hour, some of it's not in you anymore. That's the best part.
This is my first time experiencing this, and I really didn't know what to expect. It's really actually milder than I thought the sensation would be. I feel a slight pulling, and my feet are starting to feel like they want to float a little bit. I'm better off if I don't look at the water, because it's sort of frightening to think that these things are coming out of our bodies.
Very interesting. Now when you look at the different colors, there's a distinct differentiation. Leslie's is the least of the dark. Of course, there's no question Paul's the darkest. And then it's probably Hurley and Carol are about even. Carol's got a lot of metal in hers. Now, remember when we started, we put the activator between your feet, and then we plugged this in. Because as soon as we plug it in, it began to work. So before we ever touch an activator, we always unplug. So I'm going to unplug the activators. Now it's completely disconnected. Okay? So this is like an on-off switch. So you always want to have it off before you touch it, before you move it. So I'm going to take out, you can just keep your feet right where they are. And I'm going to get a paper towel. And I'm going to take the activators out of the bass. But I just don't want to make a mess, so I'm going to take each activator out one by one and set it over here in the sink. Now what's interesting, if you look directly under where the activator was in the bath, in the tub, you'll see that you probably see some black, and that black is heavy metals. And it's dropped. See that line right there? Mm-hmm. That's the heavy metals that came out of your feet. Now what I do with mine is, as soon as I take them out, I rinse them off. Now I'm going to give you each a paper towel to wipe your ankles. Now normally we didn't have the space here to do it, but normally I put a towel next to the tub so each person has a towel to put their feet on after they're done. Now what do you smell?
Smell the iron.
Smell the iron?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can kind of get a sense of the different waters when they're all together. And you can see the differences in them.
It just feels very, very soothing, very relaxing, and I don't think you notice much until afterwards. And then your feet feel, well, I express it like they could breathe, and like you notice you have feet. Most of the time you don't even notice you have feet, they're there. But they actually feel like they can breathe. So, and it lasts a long time. And the result of that is you feel quite energized.
All units come with a repair or replacement 1-year warranty. Please contact us in the unlikely instance that you have a problem with the unit you have purchased.